Hello, my name is Yusuf Faris. Now I will explain about the company background. Sime Darby Motors operates as an investment holding company which engages in the management and operation of the different conglomerates. It operates through the following divisions, which are plantation, property, industrial equipment, motors, energies and utilities, and healthcare. Sime Darby was established in 1910. Founding of Sime Darby & Co. in Malacca, a plantation agent company focused on rubber plantation, marking the birth of a business icon whose ascent began from a single commodity and grew to become a multinational conglomerate. As for our presentation, we are focusing on Sime Darby Motors. Sime Darby Motors is the automotive arm of Sime Darby Motors and is involved in the retail, distribution, and assembly of vehicles. It is one of the largest BMW dealers in the world. It has operations in markets across the Asia-Pacific region, including Malaysia, Singapore, China, Australia, and New Zealand.
Assalamualaikum, I am Nur Izzati and I will continue this presentation with the type of strategy that Sime Darby Motors use. So there are two types of strategy, which are business level strategy and corporate level strategy. Sime Darby Motors use both of these strategies for the company. Business level strategy focus on how to attain and satisfy customers, offer goods and services that meet customers' needs and increase operating profit. Okay, so here is the business level strategy that Sime Darby Motors use. The first one is they apply a differentiation strategy where they focus on revenue enhancement. They maximize shareholder value by providing world-class products to emerging countries and increasing market share. The objective are to grow volume and market share in core sectors and grow after sales part and services for the motors division. Other than that, they also imply an overall cost leadership strategy by adopting a disciplined approach regarding cost optimization to reduce costs and enhance efficiency and productivity. They improve operational excellence to increase resilience during down cycles, for example through process standardization, robotic process automation, Lean Six Sigma, and procurement control, and reduce inventory turnover through successful optimization and working capital. Next is corporate level strategy. It focuses on obtaining a mix of business units that will allow the company to succeed as a whole. The first corporate level strategy that Sime Darby Motors imply is they embark on synergistic mergers and acquisition in order to strengthen their competency, develop their size, and explore new markets and segments. The objective are to gain entry into new geographical market by acquiring BMW Tebrau and also BMW Wellington. And the other one is Sime Darby aims to increase internal development through organic business expansion in order to build skills within their core companies and expand their network. They expand the range of products, solutions, and services to improve customer experience by opening 3 new showrooms in China for BMW, Volvo, and also Mini.
Hi, my name is Azlan. So now I will explain about the motivation for strategies that have been implemented by the Sime Darby for both business level strategy and the corporate level strategies. The motivation for Sime Darby to implement all those strategies that have been explained by Izzati earlier are because of their plan and their focus for the next financial year, which is 2032. First of all, through business level strategy, Sime Darby implement revenue enhancement due to their focus on achieving higher unit sales and core luxury segmentation while leveraging on new motorcycles. Besides that, Sime Darby also want to focus on used car and after sales market segment, which can improve their profit margin. And lastly, Sime Darby implement this strategy because they want to focus on growing omni-channel capabilities to capture more sales and enhance the customer experience from their online channels. The second one is cost optimization, which also known as overall cost of leadership. The strategies are being implemented to all 4 core businesses in Sime Darby, which are industrial equipment, motors, healthcare, and logistics. The strategy can help Sime Darby in terms of implement efficient working capital management to reduce invested capital, optimize inventory management, and increase their cash flow. Besides that, Sime Darby also can have a better and continuous focus on their initiative to enable them to achieve operational excellence, which is indicate to increase productivity and to reduce their operational costs. For corporate level strategies, Sime Darby implement the synergy mergers and acquisition, where it can help the company to strategically diversify their business and to re-gear back the profile of the group. Aside from that, Sime Darby also will get a better vision in exploring the expansion opportunities in emerging the new market segmentation based on the size of the market itself and their favorable demographics. The second strategy implemented by Sime Darby in CLS is organic business expansion. The motivation for Sime Darby to use this kind of strategy is to pursue new dealership for pure electric vehicles brands in China. Besides that, Sime Darby also need to explore and strengthen their expertise in electrical vehicle equipment and their own infrastructure.
However, there is also the possibility that the outcome of a strategy is never guaranteed, and in theory, we call it as a pitfall, where managers must avoid striving to achieve a generic strategy. As for differentiations, since they bring a world-class product, the price is too high and premium for consumers. They might not be able to get the premium product with the current economic situations. Since other countries are currently in the pandemic, the high price is not relevant even though it is a world-class product. People are going through a hard time and they will not even think about the world-class product. There might be people who are still able to buy this product, but most of them are not. And for the overall cost leadership strategy, we can say that the potential pitfall that occurs is when Sime Darby Motors are too focused on one value change activity, which is operations. As mentioned earlier, Sime Darby Motors strategy is only focused on enhancing the operational excellence in order to strengthen resilience in its own cycle. This is actually not good because supposedly companies should pay attention to all activities in the value change. Because of that, the company will have a better understand the overall cost of the company itself. And if they only focus on operations, a broader strategic view could be lost. Hi and Assalamualaikum, my name is Nurit Zawani. Okay, now I will present about the industry life cycle. Industry life cycle consists of 4 stages, which are introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. Okay, now let's talk briefly about the stages one by one. At first, there's going to be the introduction stage. Obviously here, someone is going to try and start a new company to solve the problem in a new and improved ways. Typically, the products are unfamiliar to the customer and market segment are poorly defined. The early development usually involves in low sales growth and the need for strong sources to finance its operation, and competition also tend to be limited. And after the introduction stage, the industry is going to have growth. At this stage, competitors begin to grow due to the development of products that are increasingly recognized by the customers. There is also strong increase in sales because new customers are start to try the products, and the need for financing complementary to support the value chain activities such as sales, marketing, and research development. The third stage is maturity. In this stage, industry has been established, and as the market becomes saturated, there are a few new adopters. It's no longer to grow around the competition, so direct competitions become predominant, and the sales eventually peak and slow down. It also becomes more difficult for firms to differentiate their offerings since customers start to have the greater understanding of the products. And after everything, the industry has to come to the decline stage. Decline stage occurs when industry sales and profits begin to fall. A competition also may start drastically cutting their price to raise cash and remain solvent. Firms must face up the fundamental strategic choices of either existing or staying and attempting to consolidate their position in the industry. Alright, based on our findings, we assume that the Sime Darby Motors is now in the maturity stage. This may be seen by looking at the annual report, which show that Sime Darby Motors' profit peaked in the previous several years and then began to decline. The main reason this happened is when one world is hit by the COVID-19 epidemic. As we all know, in response to the epidemic threat, the government has imposed a movement restriction order. It requires individuals to stay at home and only out when necessary. As a result, we can see that a vehicle is no longer an important item at that time. And also stated in the annual report, financial year 2020 has declined since business operations were affected by movement restriction of varying length in several markets, while consumer sentiment had been dampened by the pandemic in general.
Now I will explain about diversification. Diversification is a strategy used to expand market share or enter new markets by launching or acquiring new products. It allows a company to grow by expanding its market share in an existing market or by developing a new market presence. There are a few types of diversification strategies. The first is related diversification. It occurs when a firm moves to a new industry that has important similarities with the firm's existing industry or industries. This presents opportunities to perform better under the same corporate umbrella than they could by operating as standalone entities. However, this may cater to select existing customer base, which is known as horizontal diversification. Related diversification involves the least risk. This is because the market and the customer segments are familiar. Secondly is unrelated diversification. It is a strategy that involves adding new products or services that are significantly different from the organization's present product or services. Unrelated diversification occurs when the firm diversifies into an area unrelated to the organization's current business. There are several means to achieve diversification in Sime Darby, which are acquisition, partnership, merger, demerger, and joint venture.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Mohamad Aliff Shahbirin, and right now I will explain the concept of acquisition, partnership, merger, demerger, and joint venture, and all these concepts have contribute values to Sime Darby Motors. So, firstly is acquisition. Acquisition involves one firm buying another either through stock purchase, cash, or the issuance of debt. A company makes acquisition to seek economies of scale, greater market share, and increased synergy. So next one is partnership. A partnership is an arrangement where business partners agree to cooperate to advance their mutual interests. A partnership may result in issuing and holding equity or may be only governed by a contract. So we move to merger. A merger is the voluntary fusion of two or more companies on broadly equal terms into one new legal entity. Then, the firms that agree to merge are roughly equal in the term of size, customer, and scale of operations. So next is demerger. Demerger is the business strategy where the company splits off its existing business activities into several components with the intention to form a new company that operates on its own. So lastly is a joint venture. A joint venture is a business arrangement in which two or more parties agree to pool their resources for the purpose of accomplishing specific tasks. This task can be a new project or any other activities. So now I will explain the diversification in Sime Darby Motors. So starting in the year 1972, Sime Darby Motors has made diversification across different geographical and present across 9 markets in the Asia Pacific region, such as Malaysia, Australia, China, Hong Kong, Macau, New Zealand, Singapore, Taiwan, and Thailand. So, Sime Darby Motors usually doing acquisition and joint venture of luxury car dealership, and today it represents more than 30 automotive brands such as BMW, Porsche, Volvo, Lamborghini, and others. So, among those brands, Sime Darby Motors has become one of the largest BMW dealers globally and a top Rolls-Royce dealer in Asia Pacific. Even during the pandemic of COVID-19, Sime Darby Motors still managed to do acquisition for a car dealership. For example, acquisition of 3 car dealerships in Sydney, Australia in December 2019 and also acquisition of a BMW 4S dealership in Tebrau, Johor Bahru in July 2020. So that's all from us. Thank you.